good.
Okay, to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the 15-minute mark.
All right, shalom, man. We're back up and rolling. We're just gonna continue where we left off at, man. So can you just please read that?
This is Revelation 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Yep, which we kind of already went to, but since we back up and rolling, I'll just say it again, man. These people are spiritually dead. They don't seek life. They seek the most wicked, weirdest things in this world. If you a transformer, they seeking your ass. If you a dope fiend, they seeking you. If you preaching lies and doing this shit for money and shit, they will seek your ass, man. But they don't seek Yahweh Shem Shah. Why? Because they want smooth things. Get that right quick. Prophesy to us lies and deceit. They don't want to hear the great things to come concerning us, or entering into the kingdom of heaven, escaping this house of bondage, escaping this Sodom ass society, escaping your fucking demons. All right, defeating your old man. They don't want it. They don't want to conquer themselves and be a better version of themselves. So they're gonna get burnt up in the lake of fire with that old nigga, man. With them old versions of themselves, man. They don't want the good things to come, man. Okay?
That same OG.
Yeah, they want to be that same OG down the block, man. I'd say like that. You got it up.
This is Isaiah 30 and verse 9. This is a rebellious people, lying children.
And say this is a good, loving people. So when we look at y'all not loving. Y'all not good. Y'all a bunch of fucking demons. And I'm not just saying that for no reason, or because this is a cussing out session. Nah, man. Y'all some fucking demons. Okay? That's why we avoid you. That's why the scripture says, let the unjust be unjust still. Let the filthy be filthy still. Because ain't no cleaning up shop for y'all people. The only cleaning up to do for a lot of you people is destruction, man. That's going to be the ultimate cleanup. When Yahweh shall return, man, in pure power, that white horse, and he's going to get down on you people. You got to argue.
This is lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahweh.
That would not hear the law of Yahweh. These lying ass niggas, they don't want to hear the law of Yahweh by Shem Shah. Neither do they consider. Remember? They don't meditate and think upon the goodness of Yahweh by Shem Shah. And y'all don't love yourselves. If y'all have some type of love for yourself, respect for yourself, you should understand that you need a way out too, nigga. Have some self-respect and do the things you gotta do to get salvation. But you don't want it. You gotta.
It says, which say to the seers, see not.
Who are the seers? You see them today. Starting with the apostles and elders, great millstone, all the way on down. Another way of saying prophet, okay? It'll tell you that in Exodus. I forgot the actual verse. In Ezekiel too, and Samuel.
Oh, yeah.
It's a couple verses. You got it.
It says, prophet into the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
So they said, we don't want to hear about the streets of gold, my brother, unless the white man can't partake in that either. We don't want to hear about the streets of gold, the kingdom of heaven, if we still can't smoke our cigarettes and be a bunch of fucking demons, man. Okay? They say, we don't want to hear the good things. We don't want to hear that America's going to be destroyed. So I just bought this fucking Ferrari. Or I just hooked up with somebody else's bitch last night and I love her. See, that's the type of time y'all on, man. You gotta
prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Yeah, man. You want to hear a smooth thing? Keep being a demon. And you're going to die like one. Simple as that. That's smooth. Okay? Now, if you sincerely believe, get right with Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Ain't shit smooth around here. Once you want to do the right thing, you got to consistently get on yourself. You got to consistently examine yourself. You got to make sure you're on your feet, man. You're rooted and built up. You think that's a smooth process? Okay. Think about you got it, huh?
Oh, that was it.
Okay, kind. But yeah,
13.
Yep. And then go ahead and get that Jeremiah.
All right, this is Hebrews 13 and verse 8. Yahushua Hamashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever.
Remember, okay? He don't change. His name stays the same. And how the way Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua ordained things will always be the same. Okay? It's so the same to the point it's already written. And you can actually read about it being the same and you living in the same manifestation, man. You get what I'm saying?
It tells you in Malachi, the 3rd chapter, that the Most High don't change. So if the Most High don't change, then naturally His Son don't change.
Yeah, did he change how he said how to see the C-hip, the micro C-hip was going to come about? If he did, why we saying is that same thing that he already had said? If he changed, okay? If he changed up his name, why are we sitting right here today preaching in his name? Why can we find some type of joy? Why can we find some type of comfort? We weren't supposed to have comfort and joy if we didn't have his name. Why can we sit right here on camera and tell you that? And this ain't no type of joy because we got money and shit. No, man, this shit ain't real joy. It's a defense. You know what I'm saying? This is our true comfort and our true joy, man. It's two different type of joys. You enjoy, the spirit of power you have about Shemai Washai, or you enjoying the world. Which one you stand on, man? You know what I'm saying? You got
Let me read verse 9.
okay, go on.
It says at the top, beware of strange doctrines. It says Hebrews 13 and 9.
Yeah, beware of strange doctrines. Can't forget that. Because there's a lot of strange things out here.
Right.
Okay? And you follow these strange things, these strange individuals, you're going to start doing strange things. And it's going to look filthy in the Lord's eyes. Do the right thing. What we're doing right now is not strange. Okay? What we're doing right now is standing in great boldness, as is mentioned in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. And boldness, not strange, it's boldness. Okay? You got it out here.
This is Hebrews 13 and verse 9. Be not carried about with diverse and strange doctrines.
Yeah, you guys love being diverse. You can tell how people talk in their conversation. Everybody want to say they from this, that, and the third. I'm 3%, Mexican, 25% Dominican. And they naturally diverse. So they're going to be naturally diverse in the things in the world, man. Okay? Nobody don't want to stick to one thing and one thing only. They love being entangled with multiple demons. You can't have a nigga who just can't learn how to shoot a gun. He gotta learn how to shoot a gun and rob people and then gangster with it. You see what I'm saying? Diverse demons. Nobody have accounts. But the scripture talks about leisure. People walk amongst us, they got nothing but spiritual. And we're here telling you, this brings us joy and comfort. So why don't you get down with the get down, man? Because you can't. You gotta. Okay.
Hebrews 13 and verse 9. Be not carried about with diverse and strange doctrines, for it is a good thing that the word be established with grace, not with meats, which have not profited them that have been occupied therein.
Yeah, because Scripture says what? Knowledge puffeth up. Not with meats. And other things that's in this world that will puffing you up. Because you know something, or you know how to get money, and whatever the fuck it is, that don't mean nothing, man. You need the spirit of power, Yahweh Shemim. You need faith. It's more spiritual than carnal, man. Okay? What the Scripture talks about these strange doctrines, they're not going to tell you that the covenant is only for us. What you about to get into? Matter of fact, let's go ahead. Jeremiah 31?
Yeah, 31. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I wasn't a husband unto them, saith the Lord.
Where's his woman, his delicate woman? My brother already brought out. We're that same woman who went off after many lovers, man. Okay? So you continue on.
It says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
Which is the new covenant. Read now, you got it.
After those days, saith the Lord.
Those days. That means you gotta wait. If you really wanna enter into this new covenant, be part of the first fruit, Lord, that's why we say Lord willing. We gotta wait. So who are these guys thinking they can just do whatever the fuck they want to do?
he that endureth unto the end.
Yeah, man. For knowing the terror of the Lord persuades men to do right.
Yep.
Just roughly paraphrasing it, man. It don't persuade you to do wrong. Hey, you get your shit together. You look in the mirror, you gotta look, man. I need to change my shit up. I need to change my ways. Start praying. You know, do what you gotta do. Fast, anoint yourself. Hey, you make those certain requirements through the spirit of power. How about Shimon Shah? Okay, you got it.
It says, after those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts.
This is a part of the second covenant. So for those who really believe that we're in the second covenant, that's a lot, man. Do you have the law, statutes, and commandments in your inward parts? Show me. Okay? Show me your new body. Where's your chariot? Go somewhere to Shemayim and bring something back.
Right, yeah.
Okay? Where's your Melchizedek bottle of wine, man? Where's your slaves? Right. Now I'll get to the bush. Well, not bush. You got it.
It says,
the goodness of it, really. Because that's going to happen, man. The Lord's going to bless us.
right.
You got it.
It says, I will put my laws in their inward parts and write them in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people.
It's always going to be prescribed to us. Those new bodies. We ain't going to never go off when we get those new bodies, man. There's not going to be another falling away. There's not going to be another transgress of the law. Okay? This whole, and the earth is going to love it too. The earth is going to be singing songs, man. Praising the Lord. Man, because we're going to be, look, everything's going to be established in righteousness, 100% righteousness. There's not going to be one glimpse of darkness once the kingdom of heaven gets established, once Yahweh shall come back. Not a glimpse of darkness. It's going to be the right thing to do to get on Edomites. Yeah. Get on your slaves.
Right.
Why wouldn't we? Right. Look what they doing when they wasn't slaves. They fucking everything up. To the point where it's really affecting us. Right. Okay? You got it, Akis.
It says, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. For they...
It's like it. Did we stop teaching? What are we doing right now?
Yep.
Now, we're throwing it balance. There are people who stop teaching. And they're going off. Because the scripture says, in the times that we're living in now, you're supposed to be in season and out of season. So why you stop teaching? We know when it's time to really stop teaching. When we have the new bodies. Yeah, and you got it. Go ahead, say what you gonna say.
Well, I say it like this. When the family of the word hits, we're not gonna be out here like we're doing right now, but it's gonna be some form of teaching.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be like this.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like this. But I'm not gonna have to look at, we ain't gonna look at each other and be like, hey, y'all, going on.
Yeah.
Hey, going on. Or you need to work out.
Right. You know you're an Israelite, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't get stop being that swine.
Yeah.
There ain't gonna be none of that, cool. Again, can you read that part where he's gonna be written in our hearts?
It says, back in 33, it says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write them in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people.
Yeah, man, they shall be his people. See, 2/3, even though they're Israelites, they don't want to be as one with the Lord. We shall be, when they say we shall be his people, we're going to be as one with Yahweh Shah, from the head all the way to the toe, man. We're going to reap the fullness of it. Okay?
All right, this is Psalms chapter 105, starting at verses starting at verses 8. It says God's covenant. He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. Verse 9.
When did that 1,000 generations pass?
Right. Psalms 105 verse 8. He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law and to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
So that's what, 987,000, 987 more years?
Yes.
Earth is what, 13,000? When did that end? It never ended.
Right.
So I'm trying to sneak in there. Everything you got. I'm trying to get on
Right. Yeah. Because again, we do have an adversary.
You said 1,000 generations. So it's like, you said generations.
It says that to 1,000 generations.
That's more than 1,000 years. Generations.
Yeah, roughly 70, 75.
Yeah, so you can't make this up, man. You gotta go.
Read that again. Psalms 105 and verses 10. And confirm the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. And because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob had the law, statutes, commandments, but it wasn't written. Okay, the Israelites got the written law, statutes, commandments. Even Adam, turned at the time of the Garden of Eden, he had the law, statutes, commandments, man, but he went off. But with Israel, it was written. In the Bible, it's always repetitive.
Yeah, it is always repetitive. Because remember, why do y'all about shooting out shot? But remember, Israel's a stiff-necked people. So everything has to be said over and over again, just for our people to get it. Because if you don't say it over and over again, what's going to happen is, man, they're going to be in this world of darkness. They're going to get darker and darker. Okay? And, gross darkness. So it got to be said over and over again, as a friendly reminder. You got to argue.
This is the book of Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 5. It says, who served unto the example of the shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished by the Most High when he was about to make the tabernacle.
That was just a shadow of heavenly things, man. And then also what the scripture says, what? We shall do greater things? Really? That's still going to be a form of a shadow. So when we really get those new bodies and really live in the kingdom, man, it's going to be gorgeous, man. It's going to be great. We're going to be in it at that point. It's not going to be a shadow no more, man.
You got I have not seen.
Yeah, I have not seen. You got
It says, for see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant.
Who is that talking about? You know who that talking about, brother? When it says mediator? Yeah, that's Yahweh Shah, man. He's the mediator. Remember, he laid down his life for our sins. Take away our sins too. All right? That's why we say Yahweh Bahasham in the name of who? The only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. Okay, you got it.
It says, which was established upon better promises.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
From the top it says, but now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant.
Of a better covenant, which we're going to enter into. Okay? You got it.
Which was established upon better promises.
Better promises.
It says, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second.
We went off, which we got into. You got it.
For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
And that new covenant is going to be fully expressed in the kingdom of heaven, bro. Once we get changed in the twinkling of an eye. Right? But first, prophecy got to happen over here in the miracle. They got to get destroyed. Okay? It got to happen. Woe at 3, it has to happen. The micro C help, it's happening. All right? So let's sit on that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So hopefully that was edifying. I'm going to step down for the next brother to speak.
All right, this is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold,
So you got this little horn that came. This is during Daniel's dream, and Shalom, first off. Speaking of Daniel's dream that he had, where he saw this beast come out of the earth, all these beasts represented different empires that would exist within this earth before Yahushua returns to set up this everlasting kingdom. So one of the beasts became this little horn. This is speaking of America. And then it said, plucked up 3 more.
it says, I'll start from the top. Daniel 7 and verse 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
So 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. This is going into Spain, Britain, and France. And that's what I wanted to go into today with France, because we're seeing France is talking a major boo-boo chatter against America currently. They're asking America to send back the Statue of Liberty, which who cares if they send it back or not? It all be kind of symbolism, really, to show that they're not together anymore. So long. And moving, because France are the ones who gave the Statue of Liberty to America to show all this liberty, freedom that's supposedly here within America, but now they're asking for it back. And that Statue of Liberty goes into Libertas, which is a Roman god, also showing that this is that revised Roman Empire that we're in. But when you pull up the word France in the etymology, baby.
Hold on, do you want what we looked up earlier?
Yeah, go to Frank from France.
All right. All right. Keep speaking, brother.
Yeah, but these French right now, they are trying to take back the Statue of Liberty. They're also preparing their people for war as well. And it's not just France that's a part of the EU that's preparing their people for war. It's most of these countries over there. You got the Germans giving out survivalist handbooks to their people. You've got the Swedes doing the same thing.
French
You've
do the
got,
same thing.
yeah, the French are doing the same thing. Because they're all saying au revoir to the whore that is riding that beast. And that's the symbolism behind them trying to bring back the Statue of Liberty. Because they're saying this place ain't a place of freedom and liberty. Apparently.
Because, like you're saying, those 7 heads and the 10 horns, which I'm sure you're going to go into, those 7 heads are speaking now. You know, and really, the word horn goes into power. You know? So this is the word frank in the etymology, which is an adjective. It said,
This is where French comes from Frank. Just
kind of. It says frank, the adjective, free, liberal, generous. It says outspoken. It says from Old French, frank.
yeah. And they're being very outspoken currently. About a year ago, when all the Taiwan stuff was raging, they were outspoken about not wanting to go to war with Taiwan. And then now you have them being outspoken against Trump and the policies that he's pushing, because they are liberal. What did it say at the beginning?
Well, it says free, liberal, and generous.
Free, liberal, and generous. Through their generosity, they gave the Statue of Liberty to represent liberty and freedom, but they don't see that here in America, and they're trying to take that back. This is all showing that those, which you go to Daniel 7, which we're just reading, and Daniel 2, and it's going into the same empires. You start off with the the Assyro-Babylonians, and then you go to the Medo-Persians, and then to the Greeks, and then to the Romans, and then to NATO and EU, this last beast, or the toes at the bottom of that statue. These toes are breaking up currently, and we are seeing that through geopolitical situations.
Sure.
You got something?
I'm gonna get that toes for you.
Okay, fine.
You
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 8. I consider the horns, behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things.
This is a crowd system, and it's all root. This is basically the revival of Rome. They speak proudly and they boast, and this is causing the others to be rubbed the wrong way. These other feathers to be ruffled in the wrong way. We're watching this stuff all split up. And so we bring out the toes.
So this is Daniel chapter 2 and 41. It says, and whereas thou sawest feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron.
So, as I was mentioning earlier, this is another dream. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, woke up all in a fright.
Yeah.
Old Russell, because he's like, man, that dream was crazy. Somebody's got to explain this to me, or else I'm putting you to death.
Right.
And he goes and he's trying to put to death all the wise men in the land. And it comes down to Daniel and the 3 holy children, and they're about to slay them. But the Lord gives Daniel an understanding of this dream. And in this dream, Nebuchadnezzar sees a statue. The head is of gold, that's representing the Assyro-Babylonian Empire. The chest is of silver, that is representing the Medo-Persians. The skirt is bronze, which is representing the Greeks. The legs are of iron, representing the Romans. And then you've got these feet and toes, which Pasquale is speaking of. It's that's the revival of Rome. It's this miry clay and iron. So we're watching this beast whose deadly wound is healed. We're watching it spoken of here. And that's where we currently are. We're in the NATO and the EU. We're watching this. But we're watching the toes separate. You got 2 left feet, it's all picky. These toes are separated. You got a big toe going one way, a little toe going another way. They're not dancing together like they should.
I think Volume when the group takes out EU and NATO are trying to take 5 to 10 years how to come up with a plan to basically just get away from the United States. You got Donald Trump saying what he's saying, and these other nations look at him right now. We got to get away from this.
Yeah. Because, Donald Trump is big on saying that America pretty much is the NATO. We are the one to support. So, which honestly, man, when you look into it, America does. But it rubs these other nations the wrong way when you mention those things. Because let me say this too, if you don't mind. These other nations don't understand how to look at just America in general, but I'm gonna say how to look at Trump. Trump, dude's controversial. Not everything he says you need to take, like seriously. We talking shit sometimes. You gotta pick it out when he's talking shit or not. Really that in the Oval Office with Zelensky and shit.
Yeah.
Man, that was an act. That was a play, man.
Oh yeah.
You look past that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But still, the things he said, it rubs off the wrong way with the other nations. And you can't forget, man. We're talking about the French, which is a part of the 7 heads. But they also are a part of the 10 horns. When you list the 10 horns. So, what is Revelation back? Can I get a quick one? And then I'll give it right back to you.
Yeah. And the French, they were the Gauls in the Roman Empire, and then they became the Franks, which became the French.
Exactly.
Outspoken as the word says.
This is Revelation 17 and 16. And it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
These 10 horns going into the bastard states of the Roman Empire. And so you had the ones that were there in the ancient times, and it's basically the same ones here in the new times of the beast going down and rising back up. So you got these 10 horns. Belgium, Denmark, the French, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Ireland, England, West Germany. That makes up the bastard states. These are the 10 horns. And the 10 horns, which thou sawest upon the beast. No, Revelation 17:16.
It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, he shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked.
The whore being America, which rides the back of this beast. And you see that within the world. You see America, like, all right, we gotta do this, and the others all follow. They all join on because they're in control. They are riding this beast, basically controlling it, deciding which way they're going to go. And the beast makes up Esau's power structure. Esau being so-called white man, include those small headers, because they're really at the top of this. And that's their power structure, which they have set up. People are beast, but the beast shall hate the Lord. And so, just like it says in Obadiah, the men of that confederacy have made a wound under you. They're setting you up to make you desolate, burning you. Read it.
It says, verse 16 again, Revelation 17 and 16, it says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, thee shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. He says,
these shall hate the whore. Why would they hate her? She blew up a pipeline recently, a couple years ago. She's trying to impose tariffs onto them, and then they're trying to do it back with this back and forth tariff war, trade war. Why wouldn't they hate her? This war is about to bring them into World War III. We're watching that start. You can see why they hate the whore. And you can see why they would make her desolate and naked, which is exposing her. Who knows what kind of dirt they have on America? Republicans.
Just to back them, you got it. This is Revelation 18 and 3. It says, for all nations have drunk the wine of her wrath, of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Yeah. America has gone around the earth, putting little military bases everywhere, as well as spreading their philosophies around. And this is called spread westernization throughout the earth, basically the new Hellenization or Romanization, and it has corrupted all of the nations on the earth. Corruption through this alphabet lifestyle that they push onto everybody, corruption through feminism, which is a reversal of the order of families, corruption through the toxins that they put all throughout the earth with their pollution. This has caused all of the earth to turn on and look at who has corrupted them, which is this whore, which is America. And so they're gonna ICBM, they're gonna nuke this place, make her desolate.
That's right.
With fire. Don't burn them up.
You want to go back?
Yeah. Yeah, Bob, go back to Daniel 2.
So going back to Daniel 2, this is Daniel 2 and 41. It says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron.
And so, think about it. Do those really go together? Clay and iron? If you really put some iron within some clay, the iron will fall out. And this is all going into how the EU is made up. You've got some that are wealthy and doing great economically, and then you've got some of the countries that are doing terribly. They're made up by the pigs, what you call the pigs. This is Portugal, Italy, Ireland, Greece, Spain. These make up the pigs. These are the less fortunate of the EU nations, basically. And then you got the wealthier ones that are like, oh, we're chipping in too much. You even hear Trump talking about that. We're paying more than our fair share. Like, and it's just, they're oinking. They're not, it's not mixing, it's not going together.
Right.
And it's just not going to, because clay and iron just don't mix. Yeah.
It says, in part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with merry clay. Verse 42.
And so, you've got division, because even though these Edomites, they should be considering themselves all one, and one power, because that would actually make them strong, extremely strong, if they were all of one mind, all of really just knew, hey, we're all Edomites, it's our time to rule, we should all be as one. But instead, they're all divided up into their different countries, their different nations, nationalities. You look at Europe itself, there's so many different languages within Europe, within no time, like within less than states apart. They're divided, they're completely divided. But what does the Lord say about Satan being divided? Because they are Satan. So, yeah, that Satan divided against Satan.
This is St. Matthew 12 and 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
And we just read, they're partly strong, partly weak. They are divided against each other. And we're seeing that division actually is bubbling up. All these old problems are bubbling up, where there's cracks being formed between the cohesion that they once had.
This continuing on, it says, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And here's the point of verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
Yeah. So Satan is casting out Satan. That's what you're seeing with these toes dividing. That's what you're seeing with France being outspoken, and these other EU nations being outspoken and understanding that war is coming. We're seeing Satan casting out Satan. We're seeing this division between the house of Esau. They're divided. How are they going to stand? They're not. They're not. And that's what we want. We want for this whole statute to be cast down. So we're waiting on Yahushua to come and blow it all up.
Yeah, if I can say, even with the whole, like I was talking about, that whole act that happened with Zelensky and Trump. After Zelensky came back from Washington, D.C., he went to the UK, and he was consoled by the British Prime Minister, man. You know, so these other European countries are looking at America like, hey, these guys are big bullies on the block. You got to do something.
Yeah. And even speaking of UK, you go into Jeremiah 50, and it speaks about how thy mother should be sore confounded against thee. The mother of America, or Babylon, here in Jeremiah, that's speaking of, is the UK. It's Britain. And then it speaks about how Babylon is going to be made desolate. So you could even think that the UK might be joining on to Russia and its bans to cast fire over here, because it says the beast. So you're going to have certain of these beast nations like UK, like France, and any others that are nuclear capable launching fire onto this place. Who knows how that's going to turn out? But we do know America will be destroyed with nukes.
I'll get back to that word divide goes into divides as well.
Ooh.
So it means to make a plan. So they're planning against the Lord.
Yeah. And that's what Satan does. He devises his plans, his subtlety, and they're going to use it on themselves. They're going to eat themselves, basically.
It says Daniel 2:42, it says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be strong. So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like I was mentioning earlier, the pigs nations, these are the weak ones. And then the iron, showing you that this is that reincarnation of Rome.
Right.
It's all come back up. And they had, what is it, the EEC or the EU was being formed? Yeah, the Treaty of Rome is what they called it. And I've actually got something, yeah, let me make sure I got it. Here, I got it. This is from tomorrowsworld.org, and it says the Belgian politician Paul Henri Spaak was one of the founding fathers of the modern effort to unite Europe, commenting on how it felt to sign the Treaty of Rome in 1957. He observed, "We felt like Romans on that day," because they were reviving Rome. This beast, deadly wound was healed. That beast being Rome, because the end comes from Rome. But people wouldn't say this is Rome, but it is. It's the revival of Rome. It's a new Rome. Just like you got New England and New York.
Right.
New things. Like this is new Rome.
Yeah, you got cities. You got a city here called Rome, Georgia. You got a Rome, New York. You got down the street at Atlantic Station, Arch Titus, man.
Yeah. Even where DC was put before it was called DC. I think it was New Rome or something like that. It's Rome. This is Rome reincarnated. And it says, "We felt like Romans on that day. We were consciously recreating the Roman Empire once more." This is Rome. This is Rome. This is the revival of Rome. And grab 2nd Esdras 11 and 40, because that's where the end comes through. It comes through Rome.
Remember when we had looked up the railroad system? And how railroad, the actual tracks, how wide it is? It's as wide as a Roman chariot. Oh, yeah. I remember, yeah. Like the brother was saying, this is fucking Rome all over again, man. It's exactly the same width as a Roman chariot. Yeah. There's so many, like, comparisons that you can, align America to Rome. Like you're saying, we talk about certain cities and certain states. Shit, we got like Smyrna.
Oh, yeah.
Smyrna, even though it wasn't like a Rome, it was a part of a Roman province over in Asia Minor area. But even still, provinces.
Yeah.
Rome operated off of provinces as well. Look at America. These states are provinces. You got the province of Georgia, Texas, Alaska, Hawaii. Those are all provinces of America. You got Corinth, Mississippi, Corinth, Texas, Corinth, Georgia, Corinth, Kentucky, Corinth, Alabama, which that was over
the Greco-Roman Empire. Because this is all Esau. Greece and Rome. That's where he got his start.
What did they say? They say what?
All roads lead to Rome.
They said the Greeks were the start of civilization.
Yeah.
In history. Which is false as hell. But they said that Greece was the start of civilization.
Esau civilization.
Esau.
They got a city in Ohio called Cincinnati, named after the Roman city
Yeah.
of Cincinnati.
Yeah. He's up there. He's the ideal of a Roman. Because he's that soldier that's in a farm, and they came out of his farm to go fight for the Republic. It's huge. That's why they got a whole city named after it. This is Rome, and you even see, and politically as well, we got senators, the Senate, just in every facet.
Academies.
Yeah.
They got a Rome in Georgia, right? Mentioned Rome, Georgia. They got a Rome in New York.
Even getting off, or it's still Rome, because Rome was in Italy. Every city in America has a little Italy.
infrastructure,
Yeah.
all of that. Man.
Yeah.
This is all Roman touched. Yeah, get that presented. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, of course, and verse 7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken.
In Babylon, being America, golden cup. People call this the golden city, the most gold on the streets, which is sadly mistaken if you really thought gold was on the streets. This place is loaded and filthy. But it is, it's a major place. It's one of the greatest, really the greatest modern city or country to exist. That's what it's speaking of. It's speaking of America, that golden cup in the Lord's hand. Got it?
It says the nations have drunken of their wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Those philosophies that they put out through all of their conquering and freedom building, nation building, because they always go to bring freedom.
Democracy.
Yeah, democracy. Grenade. But they bring this freedom, which is really, it's just wickedness. It's freedom against the Lord's laws and statutes and commandments. It's nothing good about it. It's freedom to be freedom of religion. That's fucked up. That's idolatry. You can be a Satanist here and get sponsorship through the government.
Get rights.
Get rights, yeah. They got, where is it in Ohio? They got the Ten Commandments and the Satanic Commandments right next to each other. That's just freedom of idolatry, freedom to be wicked, basically. But if you try to be righteous, those are no-nos. That's goes against it. But now the nations are angry.
They get tired. They got hoes walking around their streets now.
Right.
They got transformers walking around their streets.
Women driving.
Women, I was about to say
Yeah.
women driving. Yeah.
Women in politics in their countries. It's like,
Yeah, like Mexico.
Yeah.
man, y'all fucking woman in office. Right. Bitch can't even take care of the kitchen. Right. Have her running the country.
Leave me some money.
Just imagine if this bitch could only got like seriously.
Well, the missiles were being like,
Yeah. Can you imagine on a rag, just like making a hasty ass decision?
yep.
Drop that nuclear football. Let me see the nuclear football. Boom. Everything's done.
Just like Hillary Clinton was on it.
Yeah, he saw what about that.
Oh, they got this from the day. This is from Al Jazeera. Tumbo Nandi Dewa sworn in as Namibia's first female president. You know, this is in land of him, of course, you know, Africa. But hey, that's the philosophies that America pushes, man. Feminism, man. It's spreading over different countries. They tired of it, man.
Feminism started back in the 50s.
Really, even suffrage. The 20s when they got the right to vote.
Is that where
Before that.
that one?
That was World War II. Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah.
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 Got to work. And then they didn't want to go back to the kitchen. They're like, no, it's a lie. Cooler outside of this
Hey,
kitchen.
but you know what? I ain't gonna lie, man. Shit. Let these bitches go back. I ain't gonna sit in the house and chill, man. You go fucking keep your construction working. You calluses on your motherfucking ass. I'll just sit at the house. Right. Y'all wanna be like that? I'm all for it.
Infrastructure's already a D minus. Bitches started that should tumble over kids. Some change.
You see the videos of them bitches on roofs, doing roof work? Oh, gosh.
So that's a rare video.
Chaos.
Sounds like a OSHA violation in itself.
You got like 10 bitches on the roof doing roofing. They ain't getting nothing done. It's a lot of shit happening, but nothing's getting done. That shit's wild. If I find a video, I'll send it in the chat.
A bridge here in America that was designed by women and built by women and designed something.
You want to finish up with that? Yeah, keep going.
This is Jeremiah 51:8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed.
Yeah. If so be. But that's not the Lord's will, because as we're saying, this is the revisal of Rome, and the end comes from Rome. That's exactly where the end comes from. And it's just that beast fell, and it rose back up, and it's going to get stomped out. There's a great example. And Yahushua is coming to make that great example. You got that second Exodus?
This is 2 Exodus 11 and verse 40. And the force came and overcame all the beasts.
What? Maybe 39? Art thou not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll start at verse 38. 2 Exodus 11 and verse 38. Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts?
And we went into the beast earlier in Daniel, the ones that came up, and these are all the empires that would rule before the kingdom of heaven is set up. Okay.
Continuing on, it says, art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
Yeah. So the end of the times come through this fourth beast, the fourth beast being Rome. Rome fell, Western Roman Empire fell, and then it rose back up. You got Malachi 1 and 4, which even goes into that. Casting down these assholes. They're like, no, we're going to keep building. We're going to build back up. But they're going to get stomped out by Yahushua.
This is Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished.
Edom, so-called white man, small hatters. It's people that are claiming to be the Lord's people, but are not the Lord's people. What do you think's going to happen to them?
Right. And that's a direct precept to what we were just reading in Jeremiah 51. It says, but we will return and build the desolate places.
So Rome fell,
Right.
and then they had their Renaissance, which Renaissance goes into a rebirth.
Right.
And it was a rebirth of the Edomites and them pushing their ways, their cultures. This is that short season that is spoken of, where they came back up and they deceived the whole earth again. Yeah, you can grab it. But, or let's finish out Malachi first. But yeah, they came back up, deceived the earth through their white Jesus, their false religion of Christianity, their false religion of Judaism, and everything else they've touched. They pushed Islam out here as well, because the Catholic Church created that. And yeah, see that. It looks like it's raining. It's not raining. Yeah, but they rose up, but the Lord's going to throw them down.
Yep. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Yeah, and the Lord said He's going to reveal them through the spirit of His mouth, and that is what is happening right now. It's like, hey, that's not a white person, that's an Edomite. And they are wicked. They're wicked. They are the wicked. They're that crooked stick that can't be made straight. And He's going to make a great example. And this is their society, which is wicked, which the Lord is going to cast down. This is their end. Somebody grab Revelation 13 and verse 3, or even start at 2.
This is Revelation 13 and 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
Yeah. So this beast, again, Esau's power structure was likened unto a leopard because of the Greeks with Alexander. Alexander came out fast and hard like a leopard, and he conquered the known world at that time. It was just that part of the earth over there that they didn't have the full fatness until now at the Renaissance. But this all started with the leopard, with Alexander and the Greeks coming out. When they came in, which you could go to First Maccabees, wickedness increased because they are the wicked, as we were just reading in Malachi 1 and 4. They came out, spread wickedness, and conquered the earth, which goes back to their blessing to have the power of the sword and fatness of the earth.
Revelation 13 and 2. And the beast which I saw like unto a leopard, and his feet or as the feet of a bear.
To his feet. We were just going into the feet of the statue in Daniel 2. That's about to get destroyed. And it all comes through Yahweh Bashem El Shai, but he's putting the spirit onto the bear. The bear being this Russians, which you're seeing the division between them. And all this war forming up. You're seeing that division, but the feet showing the end of their power structure, which is the bear. Ooh, yeah.
Just to kind of prove your point.
Alexander the Greek with the leopard, showing he's that leopard. He conquered with great speed and ferocity like a leopard. And then the bear is coming, because this bear is what's going to end this place. That's Satan against Satan as well, because they're still Edomites. But at the end of their rulership, this bear is going to take them out.
Yep. Yeah, if I may say with that bear too, man, that goes into the Medo-Persian Empire.
Con.
Can I get the preach? So this is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 5, and it says, "And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and had 3 ribs in its mouth of it between the teeth of it." So it says the bear raised itself up on one side. That's how it's speaking about the Medo-Persian Empire, because one was more than powerful than the other. The Persians at that time were more powerful than the Medo Empire.
Yeah.
So one lifted up higher than the other. It says, "And 3 ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth, and they said thus unto him, Arise, devour much flesh." And the 3, you know what 3 ribs are?
Yeah.
You can say it.
Yeah, you got Egypt, Babylon, and Lydia.
There you go. And those are the Babylon in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes to show you too, Babylon was in the teeth of the bear. So just like you're saying in Russia, they're coming up. But they are the Medes today.
Yeah. And you see this in Isaiah 13. It speaks of the Medes. It's not going into the ancient Medes. This is speaking of the Russians, the Russian bear. And they're going to eat America's ribs, basically. They're going to eat her, burn her flesh and eat her with fire just as well. And this is all the whole, which the Russians aren't the beast. They're not a part of NATO and EU. But they are the end of this beast.
That's right.
Which is Esau's power structure.
It's still prophesied. And Daniel, when it said the many tekel,
Yeah.
when Daniel said the many tekel, he was telling Babylon that the Persians and Medes are gonna kill you, are gonna overtake you. So it's the same thing. The writing is still on the wall. The modern day writing on the wall is the doomsday clock.
Yeah.
And these BRICS nations coming together, but it's the Medes coming up.
Yeah.
It's the Medes coming up. And who are the Persians? The Iranians. And the Persians and the Medes still have an alliance today, which are the Iran and Russia.
Yeah.
They may not have it in a formal group, because the BRICS nation, the I in BRICS is India, but still Russia supplied them S-400 missile defense systems.
Yeah.
Iran. And they have the same common enemy, which is America. Except today, the one that lifts up on one side, it now is the Medes, and the Persians are a little low.
Con.
But it's still Persians and Medes.
Yeah.
Still the bear.
And it's just showing you there's no new thing under the sun. There's still the same prophecies.
Yep.
Like we see Esau rise and fall, rise and then fall again. We see the Israelites rise and fall and rise again. And it has happened multiple times, because yes, we did have the Edomites under us during the time of David and Solomon, and then they broke out of that, and then we've been under them. But people think of the prophecies as just being one time, but they're meaningful. And so we're seeing the meaningful, because this Medes going to take out Babylon again, just as it says.
And that one of the 2 biggest nations, the top 3 biggest nations that are against America, Ecclesiastes says there's no end to the people and no end to the nations. So therefore, Persians and the Medes had to come back as somebody. So today, the Iranians and the Russians.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm trying to get at is the two biggest enemies of America are the Iranians, who they keep imposing sanctions on to stop the uranium production from nuclear missiles, and the Russians.
Just saw some, call it conspiracy, maybe, whatever, but a 4.5 earthquake happened around one of the Iranian labs just yesterday, 2 days ago, which people are saying maybe that's them actually testing these bombs. Just to
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, just
You
to
know,
pull that up.
I wouldn't be surprised because that's the next closest country. I think that it's not uranium. It's uranium.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause I'll be thinking. I'll be thinking of saying vibrate. Black Panther and shit. No, the actual uranium is the actual element, but that's what they use to create nuclear weapons. And these the Edomites, the Dukes of America, they essentially stop it because they know they're going to use it against them. And then of course Russia is protecting that uranium that they're making, by sending them the defense systems and stuff. But the Medes are going to destroy the Babylonians again.
Yeah. And really this time, because you go into Daniel 5, and it was just the leader, I think it's Balthazar? Or Belteshazzar?
Yeah, I think that's the same chapter where it said the many temples.
Yeah. That's where I'm going to.
I'll go to it.
But chapter 5, and it was just translated, because he got taken out. And it was kind of it wasn't an all-out war and all-out destruction. It was just taken out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Medes are gonna clean up. Going back to that bear in Revelation.
Yep.
Yeah, let's finish it out.
Revelation 13 and 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
The mouth of a lion. Going into the UK, which we were just talking about earlier. The mother of Babylon was one of those three whores that came up. UK, Spain, France. And this is where Esau did a lot of his colonizing through the Brits.
Yep.
And that's their symbol. It's a lion. Just going back to the Russians, theirs is a bear, and the Greeks are a leopard. But these also you got the Bank of London within there, and that's where they speak as well, showing their power. But yeah, this is all Esau's power structures that we didn't think we knew about, but we know about.
If I can say, remember that is the soccer team in England. Their logo is 3 lions. Right, so they got a shirt with 3 lions that represents the national soccer team.
Soccer team for the UK.
Yeah.
It's Manchester United or something like that. And then there's another one.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them.
They got the lion.
Yeah. And you even think of like knights and stuff, you always see the lion on the shield. There's the lion is one of their symbols. And that's what it's speaking of. UK. The Brits. And
Seeing on it says, and the dragon gave him power and his seat and great authority.
the dragon being that little serpent in the garden, he's grown all the way up. Now he's this big red dragon, which is the Edomites. And really you could go to the elite for this. That's really who's guiding all of this stuff. That's who's really steering the whore, which is steering the beast, which is steering the whole world into their NWO, which they're trying to basically keep their birthright, which is not going to happen because you've destroyed the earth already. Even at this point, you haven't even done everything yet, what you're going to do, which is nuclear war. Like, you destroy the earth. How will you have any longer to stay in this position of power. Just keep going.
Because if this fucking was still, he had it his way, man. He would like, this man, he would be uninhabitable, man.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to survive in America or any other part of the world.
He poisons the very air that he breathes.
He poisons his own fucking water.
Poisons his people, and so you're small in number now. Poisons their minds with their feminism and all these philosophies that he has, to where people aren't even breeding like they're supposed to, working families, going forth within this earth.
People stop reading.
Hey, man.
People stop. Think about that. No,
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Pause for a moment. Time out. People stop reading. And they don't read the signs anymore. They, not. I see this all night. Machine says insert. Niggas just
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
Like take 3 seconds and read the machine. But people stop reading, man.
Which means what? They start gathering information.
You see the videos of people in college. They doing the AI thing while the professor's speaking, and everything's. I caught my son doing that shit with his homework one time. What can I do? You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I went in the room and he's over here Googling answers and shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, how are you supposed to learn?
Right.
I was like, what good is this gonna do for you when you gotta take a test on this shit? You're just over here Googling answers, getting AI to do your fucking homework for you. I was like, man, this place is utterly fucking destroyed. But imagine
Yeah.
if this nigga had another 100 years.
Even just 100 years. Yeah.
Just another 20.
Wasn't this guy Trump trying to get rid of the education department?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really do it.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
It's fucked.
at this point, why not fucking go ahead and get rid of it? These little niggas ain't reading any fucking way.
They can't even read analog clock. They took them out of their
They
school.
said they stopped the recursive.
Yeah.
They said they took out those old school clocks.
Yep. See, I'll even say this. Alright, because you catch yourself kind of like getting, how can I say this? I guess I'll being general, like getting enrolled in the system, but not, you know what I'm saying? But like, I had to catch myself one time. I was like, man, fuck this. I even put my watch back at military time. I was like, I'm like, screw, like right now I'm reading 16:10. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, screw the 12-hour clock. I'm gonna go back to a 24-hour clock, even though still, how they tell time is still wrong. But still, everyone was using military time way back when. You know what I'm saying? They weren't using this, 3:15 type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Niggas don't even know what a 3:15 is.
Prime example. People like with us growing up, right? We had the jobs and stuff. I used to work at AMC. Cash register is still open. People still handed me cash. I had it was $3.99. They gave me, you know how they give you $1 and a penny.
Yeah.
Figure that shit out, because the computer doesn't tell you how to do it. You have to be like, you have to think and give them the right change back. Nowadays, Google, whatever it says on the screen, and then it can barely count what's on the fucking screen that gave them the answer. Niggas, it's like you said, they don't know how to read. It's diminished. And what's crazy is Esau done all of this, all because he wanted to destroy one people.
Yeah.
He was so adamant with destroying Israel that he will destroy himself and everybody else as long as we don't. That's the definition of if you don't, if I'm not getting it, nobody getting it. We all dying in this bitch. That's it. And it's unaliving mannerisms.
Try to stay sharp. Try to keep yourself sharp. Read clocks, keep score on certain games you play. Keep it mentally. You can if there's some numbers do that mentally. It'll keep you sharp. Try to remember things mentally. And try to work it out mentally. It'll help you stay sharp.
Yeah, like sometimes I play like word. I got word games. I got like 3 word games on my phone. I try to just just try to see words and work your brain. Yeah, you gotta keep that brain moving, man. Cause
You do.
fuck around and turn into one of these dumbasses out here.
Yeah.
These people are stupid, man. Like seriously, like
What's even more messed up about it is, back in Daniel, it says knowledge shall increase. We're at the point where knowledge is all at your fingertips. And you can really get the answers to most things out of your phone, but that also cripples you because you're not digging and searching like our apostles and elders have to go to the libraries, dig, and really get this stuff. And it's in them. It's fully in them. And we're struggling to, I know I struggle to try to keep these precepts. And I'm always trying to keep myself sharp so that I can be fit enough to try to help, try to teach. But
Even when you got these cell phones, you still got to do a certain amount of research. Like if you go into history or the tribes or whatever topic you got to go to this website, that website. You can actually, take notes, and, write it down on a notebook.
yeah,
That takes a certain amount of diligence to even get the breakdowns, man. It's just not gonna be given to you. I mean, of course, the apostle elders. Even when you go look up YouTube videos, man, you gotta. All right, let me start the lesson right here. Okay, when you went into the EEC, that's something you gotta look up on Wikipedia, man. You gotta read actually what happened with the EEC and how it was changed to the EU, man.
that's why I like what the apostles and elders. Apostle Tahar does it. I'm gonna take that.
yeah,
Apostle Tahar does it too in his videos. He'll say something. You're like, oh, look at that.
yeah.
He'll have the answer, but it's thought provoking.
Yeah,
If you're not provoking yourself to think, then you're like. Yeah, like I was watching Apostle Ramlah's video last night. That's what I was. Remember, we was talking before y'all got on the camera. I was talking about Solomon's gold and all that. That's because I was watching Apostle Ramlah's video. He was dealing with the one he did last night. But that's had me look up. Oh, he was dealing with America. With American men, how where America came from and all that.
Oh, a while ago.
GMS 13. 10 tribes was carried over to this land. Okay. That's what provoked me to go. Because I looked it up before. I went and did all that, looked it up before, but I was like, shit, let me go back and add that. So I went, back, Googled that shit, digging into this. I sent the article to myself. So I might send it to y'all.
Yeah, we all gotta stay sharp.
That's what you call food for thought, man. It makes you. That's another thing. Jake just lazy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's it. There's no willpower.
Yeah. Let's go back to this board being, Revelation 13.
All right, this is Revelation 13, verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as if it were wounded to death.
That's Rome.
Every wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Yeah. So we went into Malachi 1:4. It fell, and then it rose back up again during the Renaissance. It came back, and all the world wondered after it. Westernization. Everybody wants to come here to the Golden City. Everybody wants to be Americanized, Westernized. And these philosophies have corrupted the earth. Let's keep going.
Revelation 13 and verse 4. And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Yeah. And who can? You see them all together. Nobody in the world could go against America and the NATO with its allies, basically the UN, which there's been more wars now than there ever have been. That's because we got this bully in charge that is foreign. And who can go against them? We're seeing these nations, letting the weak say I'm strong. We're seeing them have nuclear capabilities. We're seeing them form together with this new economic group, the BRICS, which are Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and then there are others that are gaining onto it. But who really can make war with the beast? Who can do it? Nobody currently.
Continuing on, verse 5, Revelation 13 and 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months.
Yeah, we just read Daniel 7, verse 8. And he said he came out speaking great things. Same stuff. These are proud people. And the Lord's about to roll those proud down a mountain and make them burnt mountain. That's all currently happening. We're watching the fall of this great beast, and their pride is being cast down. We're switching out.
Stay where you at.
Okay.
No, you can stay where you're at too.
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't tell you switch up.
Sorry,
You stay
man.
where you at.
Daniel, let's go to Daniel 2, and then, yes, let's keep going. Actually, 42, because I think we got to check one.
This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 42 says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Let's keep going, because I kind of went into that earlier.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Yeah, I was saying it earlier. They don't mix. These are two substances that don't mix together. Clay's not strong enough to hold that iron. This iron's too heavy and too strong. But they try to, and it's just going to cast this whole kingdom down. You got it?
Verse 44, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom.
So we were going into that earlier, looking at Rome being this last beast that would exist. And we're in these days. We're in the days of these kings. The last days, the end days, the last times of the Gentiles having any rule or power within this earth. This is the last Gentile kingdom that is here. We're watching the end of it. Because Yahushua is coming back.
Which shall never be destroyed.
That's the kingdom of heaven. He's coming to set up a kingdom which is going to last forever and ever.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
What are you talking about, Christians in here? Everybody could be saved nonsense. This is only about Israel. It's only always going to be about Israel. Your supersessionism isn't going to replace that, or any of your 300 plus denominations of Christianity, or your Judaism, or whatever else you create, whatever else false doctrine that you create, because the Lord only came for Israel. Basically, you're trying to say that everybody's chosen, which makes no sense, really. How can everybody be chosen? Then it's really just whatever. I'm not gonna hurt my mind thinking about that, because it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Not everybody is chosen. It's just Israel, and that's why it's speaking of Israel. It's not going to be left to other people, just Israelites. Which Israel does come from. Israel has been scattered to the four corners of the earth, so we're going to come back looking like all the other nations.
Yep.
But this nation that's going to be brought up is just for Israel. And it's going to be forever and ever.
Yeah. Continuing on, it says, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Yes. And Yahushua is coming back to put every single piece of power and authority down underfoot. He's going to break all these kingdoms up. He's going to break all these philosophies up. He's going to break up all these nations. He's going to subdue it completely under his feet. He's King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He's going to come back with many crowns because he's put down all rule, power, and authority. It's just, it is what it is. This is the truth of it.
If I can add a quick point to that, because the brothers going into Christianity believes that salvation is for everyone when it's not. What's the answer here? If the kingdom is coming down and it's breaking apart all the other kingdoms, where is the salvation for everyone else? See, Christianity is waiting for something that's destined to be mashed to pieces here.
Just not going to keep consistent. I wish those Mormons would have come talk to us. Break them in pieces.
Break up their leader.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your lies can't stand here.
Got destroyed.
Mormons.
I was a little bit of snack.
I was like, so what's that you saying about my dark skin?
Right,
What's
yeah.
that you saying? So I'm a, what do they even call it? Girgashites? Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all lies.
Right.
All lies. But Yahushua's coming to put all that underfoot.
That's right.
And that's what's going on here. Exposing all of these lies, as the Lord said, through the power of his mouth. It's all getting put down. All of these things are lies. Esau's a lie. The kingdom's a lie. Done nothing but lie.
That's part of that wine you were speaking about earlier.
Yeah. All these false philosophies that they've put out in this earth. Mormons. And all they can do is smile when they pass by. Because they know they're caught. They're at their end. They're at their end. That's great.
Yep, I mean, Obadiah, when it says, how are the things which are searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
You got.
That kind of the brother was saying how basically the Lord is exposing everything, man. Okay? Basically land back in what you were saying. It's because of Yahweh Shem Shah why these different strongholds are being broken down. Everything is being searched out, being sought up. This is one of the reasons how it's being sought up. It's messengers. Because you said speaking out. We're speaking out to break down this whole society, man. From the top to bottom. You was going to the statue earlier.
Yeah.
You know, everything's being broke up. Right out.
Yeah.
Let me continue on, or?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, Khan. Verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
All the men of thy confederacy. And we were going into this earlier with Revelation 17 and 16, how that beast is going to hate the Lord and make her desolate, burn her with fire. The beasts, these are men of their confederacy. They've all been together since they came out of the Renaissance, but now they're breaking up. As we were saying, the toes are going astray. We're seeing even the other nations as well, the ones that were cool with them, like China. China, there's been so much back and forth trade with China throughout the ages. That's why we have so much cheap stuff here. But even that is breaking up. And they're going to pair with Russia as well for what's coming. And then going back to trade, you've got, which has gone on for a long time, NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. You've got, which was Canada, US, and Mexico. And there's all free trade between these, no tariffs or anything, because we're so close, and it only makes sense to have free trade with each other. Trump's putting a stop to that by trying to impose tariffs on Mexico and tariffs on Canada, and saying they're going to annex Canada, which has Canada asking to be part of the EU, which that's, who knows, maybe they'll let them, but it's a part of their writing that they're not European nations, so they can't be a part of it. But maybe we'll see, because Turkey's kind of barely even in Europe itself, but it's part of the EU. But nonetheless, this is creating for holes in America where America can be invaded. With Canada asking to be a part of the EU, that means they're aligning themselves with the men of their confederacy, who the Lord does say in Jeremiah 51 that he's going to fill this place with caterpillars, which are troops.
It's just Canada asking to be, they're probably basing that off of their lineage.
Yeah,
Because they're
French.
Outspoken. Exactly. So they're French. Yeah, outspoken. They'd outspeak once they got those tariffs that got put on them. Because Canada produces a lot of the energy for America.
Yeah.
Trump was like, man, shit, fuck it, you know? 51st state, let's call it Canada because we already spend billions on their ass. So let's just, you know, induce it. That's but pretty much like take them in, and then we don't have to spend. It would be like our own that we generate. You know what I'm saying? Which is a money move, really. That's all it is. But it sounds like the same thing as the hit guy back in the 40s, 1940s.
Oh yeah.
How we annexed.
Was it Poland?
Yeah, it was.
With the Blitzkrieg,
I think
went
it
in
was
lightning.
Poland.
Like
How they
lightning.
annexed Poland. Because that really popped it off.
Yeah. Yeah. Trump's trying to. He's basically on some similar shit.
He is.
Being like a bad man and trying to expand and trying to be great again. Because that's what that guy was doing. He was trying to make Germany great again. But it didn't quite work out.
And
like
what
they wanted to.
And in Germany, what else was what he's trying to do? He was trying to deport.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Send them back, yeah.
He was.
He was sending people back. You know, those the small hackers. That's what he was just trying to get them out of his country. It's like they don't belong here. You know?
Yeah. Because they're bringing out all sorts of philosophies and ways that are just not conducive to society as well. He's trying to get them out, which even that guy, he's a shepherd mover. He's a Rothschild scion.
Yep.
So just to show the world's a big stage, and we're just watching a big act, which the dragon is really directing in the background, clearly. But yeah, finish that out.
God. Obadiah 1-7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Yeah. So America and these other nations have been able to trade and coexist together for the longest. But now we're coming into a time of war. We're watching these other nations they're preparing themselves for war, just like in Joel 3. It says, prepare war. Beat your plowshares into spears and putting oaks into swords. We're watching that. We're watching these nations, especially the EU nations, building themselves up for war. They could be putting some things into their agriculture, into their industrial, or into their infrastructure. But they're putting this into war. They're preparing their people for war. America doesn't seem to be doing this because that wound was laid under them. They're not really even. Americans have no idea that this stuff is all about to fall down, but it's falling. We're watching it fall quickly. It's rapidly deteriorating.
T1.
I was just trying to see how. Let's keep going.
Continuing on to verse 7.
Yeah.
There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
Yeah. Wisdom vanished in Teman. Pretty much seems like it because a lot of these moves are just not making sense. Why would you get rid of some of your closest allies? Why would you do that? Why would you get rid of NAFTA and these trade agreements that you have? Why would you, after you dumped almost $1 trillion into Ukraine, why would you just cut them off? These people are this is all gonna go against you. And it all boils down to America getting nuked and the land of Israel getting nuked. So watching this happen right in front of our eyes. And it's amazing, really. Especially having, I'm not gonna say I have the understanding, but I have somewhat of a grasp on it to see this great and beautiful story that the Lord has told us, that He's showing us, and He's revealing the mysteries of it too. This is beautiful to watch this thing all melt down. It's all collapsing. That wisdom is fading. This just doesn't make, or it makes sense because the elite think they're gonna burn this all down and then rise up out of the ashes like a phoenix to their new world.
Right.
Why would the Lord give you a second opportunity? And have you not read about your future? You've read it, but you're in denial. Just like most Edomites are in denial about their violent and wicked history. You're still in denial. Just
What can I say? Like, just like you said, why would you send trillions over to Ukraine just to cut them off again? But when you saw that little, what we're talking about with Zelensky in the Oval Office, he says, this guy, he was talking to Zelensky, he's like, this guy hates Putin. He's like, you think it's smart for me to hate Putin like you hate Putin? You gotta be diplomatic. What he's trying to do is lessen the blow that he knows that's coming. So it's like, okay, now you have hard decisions. Pick and choose what side. Do I choose the Ukrainians or choose the Russian side of this? Who's the more powerful force? What would be the outcome if I choose Ukraine? It will end up going into a direct war that I don't want to get into right now with Russia.
yeah.
Because right now it's indirect. Because I have been backing the Ukrainians. The only reason why, when did the Russia-Ukrainian war start?
2022?
2022, 2025, 3 years, right?
Yeah.
The only reason it's gone 3 years is because America has been backing Ukraine.
Yeah.
If Ukraine didn't have that back, that shit would have been over in 6 months.
Yeah.
It would have been annexed right back. Russia would have got back rightfully what is theirs. Rightfully.
Which it, yeah, it is.
Because Ukraine became a country in what, 1991?
Yeah.
That land was stolen from Russia.
Yeah.
From the NATO. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just getting it back now. They're becoming that barrier. So, what you call it? Trump was like, maybe we should be diplomatic about this instead of going into a hot physical war with the bear right now, because that's who's going to ultimately take part in destroying them.
Yeah.
So let me lessen the blow real quick, you know? So yeah, fuck you, Zelensky. I'm not about to send you more money to continue this war. Just lose.
Right.
And cut it out. And let Putin calm down a little bit. You know?
And really, they should, if they're thinking about sustaining their power.
They're better off being with Russia.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Ukraine.
Yeah. Putin always talks about how Kiev is the mother of them all because it was part of Russia. And that's what all they're trying to do is get back that part of them.
Right.
Which is the Lord who comes into their jaws and turning them back into that big bear.
He broke it all down across.
Oh yeah, Tucker Carlson.
He broke the whole history down.
It was beautiful too. It was,
We don't need. He's like, hey, shut the fuck up. Let me tell you Let me tell you why we're going in Ukraine. Because really, Putin could wipe that shit off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
He could wipe Ukraine out, but why would he want it? Why would he want to do that?
Right.
He's like, no, that's because that's my land. That's my land. The Ukrainians are Russians. They just, you got a little brother. They just kind of. It's just a phase. Ukraine. You being Ukraine is just a phase, bro. You just was in a phase. You wanted to be independent for a few years. See how it was. Now you gotta come back home. Big bro that slapped you upside the head. It's like, now you see, dummy? Now come back. That's what's happening right now. It's like, because Ukraine is really Russian.
We're watching a lot of crazy geopolitical stuff. Because you got Ukraine, and you look at the Russian and Ukrainian history. Ukraine, even from the times of USSR, especially after Lenin and what's his name got in, Stalin got in. Ukraine was trying to break off and stuff like that, but they still remained a part of USSR. And then with the breakup of the USSR, that's when Ukraine became itself. And then you had 2014, they started warring again, and NATO expansion as well. This is all, basically everything they've done geopolitically all comes back to Ethan. From over there, the Russians and all that, to UK and all of Europe, to America. All of what Esau does, it all comes back on them because they've dug so many pits. They're falling into their own pits. That's just how it's gonna happen. Let's get some precepts.
Ezekiel chapter 38, start from the top. And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thou face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
Yeah, we were talking about how they're called how the bear in Revelation 13 and 3, I believe. How that bear, the feet of it were a bear, how that's Russia. This is Russia, God of Magog. And then he's also the Medes in other places. You see it in Jeremiah 50 and 51. You see it in Isaiah 13. This is what's coming to end Babylon with all his bands.
Right. Continuing on in verse 2. Matter of fact, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal and prophesy against him. Verse 3. And say, Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach, and Tubal.
Yeah, the Lord's still against them. They're still Edomites.
Right.
But he's going to use them, just as he's always used them, as he uses everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just characters in this big movie.
That's it.
Right.
And, you know, the Edomites have been the Lord's sword for a very long time, and he's punished the nations through his sword. So he's still against them, but he's going to use them. So he goes into that.
Yep. God. And say, Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
So turning them back into USSR. Like the Beatles, but he's turning them back. He's got that control, and that's how you control a beast with the bridle.
Yep.
And it's in their mouth, and he's
Oh, the bridle. Yeah.
bridle, the water. And he's
Like
got
his horse.
control over them. Yeah, just like any beast. And he's
Stir 'em.
yeah, left and right. And that's how America's been steering the beast as well, because it's been riding on them, using the bridle as well.
It says, And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor.
Yeah, we see Russia building itself up back into the USSR, into that same spirit, and that's what Putin even speaks of. How he's trying to make Russia great again, to a great and strong empire. He's building this back up, and you're seeing their military parades. They're marching and showing their great armies. There's great technology that they have, all their tanks, all their awesome missiles that they have, and they're all this technology in which they're going to use.
It says, and all thy army, back in verse 4, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Sounds like war to me. That's what brother was going into. All right. Now, of course, there's not going to physically be bucklers and like what? Hey, technology advanced, and I'm gonna just throw that back to him. You got it, bro.
Well, yeah, he's got this great company,
Yeah.
and these are all these different nations that we're seeing attaching themselves onto Russia, like Iran, China. We're seeing China doing the same. All of the BRICS nations, and you even see all these applicants into BRICS. We're becoming the majority of the earth. They're all trying to link up to Russia. We'll bring that one out.
Jeremiah 50, verse 3 says, For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall depart both man and beast.
Yeah, out of the north. That's the Russians coming with this great, all of his allies. They're gonna do a great slaughter in this land, basically, through the ICBMs, through their technology.
Continuing on in verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet.
Persia representing the Iranians, and you see them in the scripts as the Carmanians as well. But speaking of the Iranians, you got
It says Ethiopia.
Ethiopia and Libya representing these North African countries, which you see Russia becoming allies with them, because they'll say, like, oh yeah, Russia never colonized us, but they're still Edomites nonetheless. But you're seeing them banding together.
It says Gomer.
Gomer is Turkey, who is also part of NATO and the EU. Again, the men of thy confederacy, and they're even a part of this. I don't want to say the beast, but they are part of EU, the EU, and I think they're NATO.
I think they're NATO.
You're NATO too?
I mean, if you want to, you want to say that's the beast.
Okay.
So
Just trying to be
I got you.
conscious of what I'm saying, but yeah, they're part of this.
Like I said, because Erdogan, in Turkey were the ones that let Sweden and Finland into the NATO. It was on certain terms and conditions. They were like, okay, we need some of these anti-Turkish protesters, please back to us, so we can try them. Then he let them in under certain negotiations.
Yeah, and that's Gomer in the script, Turkey, which is part of this beast. These are men of Esau's confederacy or America's confederacy that are all going to turn on this place.
It says Gomer, going back to verse 6, and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, Togarmah, of the north quarters, and of his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be a guard unto them.
Yeah, and you have Russia being a guard under these people.
It says Turkey is a part of NATO, but they're not officially a part of it either. One of those associated type situations. They're not exactly in, but they're kind of in. I think they put in a petition. Not sure, years ago. I know they were part of NATO, though. But yeah, they are a part of NATO. They're just not officially a part of the EU. But still, it's NATO and EU. Still that, but it's still that beast. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's even it's through Turkey that Esau really started coming back into power too during the Renaissance.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah. That was the Ottoman Turks.
Ottoman
The
Turks.
Ottoman Empire.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time where the Edomites came out of the Caucasus Mountains, and they assembled with those Turks, and ultimately they took it, and that's like their first big main identity theft. Then they called themselves the Ottoman Empire, which really they were all equals. It's kind of like what they did with us in the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Oliver Cromwell and shit started popping off. That's where you get the Cavaliers and the something else.
Knights and Templars.
I don't know about it, but I know the Cavaliers for sure. But I have to go get that real quick. But yeah, you can paint it back to him. But that's how the Edomites came back, the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9 and 10. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Yeah, and we're watching war being prepared. We're going to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. It says there's a time of war and a time of peace. And we're in a time of war. We're watching these war drums beat, the saber rattling happening. And it's amazing. It's amazing to watch the scripts really just coming to life. And we're getting to basically the pinnacle, the climax of this movie, which is the destruction of Babylon the Great. We're seeing their infrastructure, they're putting all this into building up their armies because we're in that time of war. So they are preparing.
It's like if I can just add
Yeah,
to
you
you,
got it.
it's like a chess game. I know me and this brother used to play all the time, you know, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
But within the chess game, you got to set certain thing up. You know, your cavalry, certain pawns might be getting taken or whatnot. But ultimately, your end goal is to checkmate. That's basically what we're seeing. We're seeing all the pieces get put together, and the Lord's gonna come back and checkmate Esau. I have a good one for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Exodus 15, since you said mention war, and 3. The Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name.
Yeah, the Lord of hosts. He's the Lord of armies. And so, of course, he's going to be setting up. And really, what else would you be doing with people? He's setting them up and watching these wars. And it's, what else are we going to do but be men of war and watch these wars as he sets them up? And you just mentioned chess. He's the ultimate strategician, if I'm saying that correctly. He's strategic in putting his moves in certain places to set up his prophecies and to set up these ultimately set up these events that he's spoken of.
Yeah, Salaki, I don't mean to get you off guard, but I had to go back to that Cromwell.
Yeah.
Because you got to really recognize how these Edomites fucking came, man. And I had wrote these notes like 10-some years ago about Oliver Cromwell, but really he goes back into the history of the Rothschilds.
I didn't know that.
He goes back into, he's technically kind of a Rothschild.
Yeah.
So, you know, King James.
Yeah.
He was during his time that King James transliterated the Bible, all that stuff. So I'm about to read verbatim some of the notes that I have for Oliver.
And Guy Fawkes as well.
Yes.
All go into
All
that stuff.
Exactly. And this is where you get the Cavaliers from.
Okay.
You know, that's why they named, you know,
The
they
Cleveland.
got certain sports teams, Cleveland Cavaliers, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But really, that's when we, of course, they have, nothing is fucking coincidence.
Yeah.
No wonder you have King James playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, you see how they do LeBron James, they crucify him in a sense. You know, when it comes to the GOAT talk and shit like that. But all of this shit is no coincidence on why he gets treated the way he does. So this is Oliver Cromwell. He was from 1599 to 1658. It says an English military and political leader, and later Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England. So the Lord Commonwealth of England, of Scotland, and Ireland, says he overthrew King Charles I, or King James's son. All right. He says he said purge the Parliament and put the king to death in 1649. And the military force that he used were the Cavaliers. So he took the lineage of King James out using the Cavaliers. So to continue, it says so with that being said, it says allowing the money changers to consolidate their power for the next 50 years, they plunged the Great Britain starting in 1649 after the death of King Charles, you know. It says into a series of costly wars. It says took over the square mile of a property in the center of London known as the City of London.
City of London.
Exactly. What do you think?
Where he got us, where the beast's mouth or the power came from.
Exactly. So what do you think?
Revelation 13.
Oliver Cromwell led into what you mentioned earlier, the Bank of London.
Yeah.
So it says because he started moving the money around. It says one of the 3 prominent financial centers of the world to this very day. You can stay there. I'll let you keep going. But pretty much it says this is how the Rothschilds began to get rich, because then what started to happen? The Napoleonic Wars.
Yeah.
Then the Bank of England got set up. All this is how these Edomites got. That's what I said. This is how they destroyed when they Ottoman Turks, all that shit.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, get that in Revelation 20. You know what I want? What is that? Revelation like 20 and you can say 2, where it says they were loosened for a season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kyle, I got you right here. Revelation chapter 20. Hold on, man. Okay, Kyle.
Is it 20 and verse 2, right? Verse 3, okay.
Revelation. Can I just start at verse 2?
Yeah.
Revelation 20 and 2.
That's what I said, man. I'm fucking with you, man.
And he laid hold. And he laid hold on the dragon, the old serpent.
See? Showing the serpent. The serpent. From Genesis.
Yep.
Grew up into this great, powerful dragon.
And there always have been the Edomites.
Right.
Always. Going from serpent to Cain, all the way up to now. It's always been the Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man. Go ahead.
That old serpent, which is the devil,
Yep.
and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
It says which is the devil, and we went into that a little bit when we go into the word division. It goes into the word divide, which goes into the word devise, which the word devise goes into the word device, or devices. We know what the scriptures say about that.
We're not ignorant of Satan's devices.
Right.
Right. And what does Satan's devices try to do? Deceive.
Yep.
So it's the fucking devil.
Look at the miracles.
All these D words, damn it.
Yeah. Massive.
Devil, divide, device, devise, deceive, it all correlates with one another. That's why you gotta look into these words and look into these names.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
God, continuing on. Verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit.
You said what, Captain?
And cast him into the bottomless pit.
No. We cannot overlook what the captain just emphasized.
Right.
It says him.
Yep.
So who is that? Get Job 9 and 24.
Right.
Yep. Get Job 9 and 24.
This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So this is what we're talking about.
We went to Malachi 1 and 4. That should, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
There you go.
We're talking about Esau.
There you go.
This is who runs the earth. You go into 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob's the beginning of it. It follows.
Yep.
This is the devil.
This is the
And it's not a secret anymore.
oh, to some.
These white people are the devil. They've lied about everything. They've deceived about everything. They've laid pits and snares for everyone throughout this earth. And they got released for the Lord's plans to come into play.
That's right.
And they're going to fall into their own pit. They're going to fall into their own devices. They're already doing it. And they're going to be divided because that's how they've really gone for conquering, through their division. Where they divide and conquer.
Right.
It's, it's.
I mean, you said the same, divide and conquer. That is the actual saying that they use.
Yeah.
So that's the energy that they come with.
Yep.
Go ahead.
God, we're reading it. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, which we was just going into.
Yes.
If not, where and who is it?
That's
It's
right.
like a riddle.
That's it.
Who else is made like Jesus? A lot of people don't even realize that that's a complete fabrication. That's totally off.
And that's a device.
That is a device.
The white Jesus is a device that has been used to deceive, here we go, using these D words, many. That's why he is the whore that sits on top of the waters. You had that?
I had that Revelation
Give it,
17.
bro. Give it.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 1. It says, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials,
Yes.
and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show you unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Go down to 15.
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Yeah.
Going, who sits on many waters? Because Scripture tells us that the waters are the people. The brother brought out Job 9 verse 24. The world is given unto the hand of the wicked. A quick search on the internet shows you that America has, I think it's over 768 bases throughout the world. That's complete control. China doesn't have that. India doesn't have that. Russia doesn't have that.
Right.
Who is the wicked?
Right.
Who has the world?
Yeah, who's the most influential right now? That's
If not, where? Who is he?
Yeah.
The fucking devil, man. The fucking devil.
Go back to Revelation 20.
I got you right here.
Yep.
It's Revelation 20, going back to verse 3. It says, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more.
And so we went into the fall of Rome. Rome fell. You read in Job, it says he was driven from men. The Edomites were in charge in Rome. They got driven out once it fell, and they were in a really low state in the Caucasus Mountains, in different mountain areas, and then they started gaining back that foothold through Turkey, through the Renaissance, through these different times. But that bottomless pit going into Europe, because they were cast into it, and they were in a very, very low state. But the Lord showed us all a miracle and lifted up the basest of men to be in charge currently.
Yeah, well, get that precept. Since you said basis of men, was that Daniel 4:17?
Yeah.
You know? But keep reading.
Okay.
It's funny too because Esau, white man, he'll do like the he'll make mockery of his own self. Like,
Yeah.
he'll do that like the insurance company.
Yeah.
Caveman.
Yeah.
Right.
It's always a white man. It's never a Negro. It's never a Hispanic. It's never an Asian. It's never an Indian, so-called Elamite, or so-called.
Right.
East Indian.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Hidden in plain sight.
It's always
Yeah.
a fucking white man that's a caveman.
I was on this, basically a conspiracy message board. Somebody had posted, like, hey, have you ever noticed that Amalekites all look like cavemen? Or they're high ups, and they just started showing all these different faces. And he's like, yeah, the brow, you see the brow, blah, blah, blah. Because they are. Because that is the cavemen. They are the ones who, they'll even tell you, like, oh yeah, we got a certain amount of Neanderthal blood within us. It's because you are this base man.
Right.
That is where you come from. You even call yourself Caucasian, which goes into cave dweller. You're the basis of men that the earth has been given into its hands.
Exactly.
Real good stuff.
Yeah,
Can I say something real quick?
of course you did.
Because we're talking about the bear. And when you go into the history of the modern Medo-Persian Empire, okay, which is the Iranians and the Russians, and you look into their relationship with one another, the time when it was when the Russians were called the Russian Empire, they actually, so their relations go back to about like 1560s, something like that, 1520s, Iran and Russia. So when Russia became the Russian Empire, their relations got a little shaky when they actually started getting into disputes and actual war with one another, or battles in the Caucasus regions. Because you know where those mountains are aligned, that's kind of where Russia is too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So therefore, that goes to show you that still those Russians are Edomites, and they still have disputes in the Caucasus areas because they have an affinity with the Caucasus Mountains, because that's what they call themselves.
And Iranians, yeah, they're Persians, but if they're taking the ITBS or the SAT or any of those, they check off Caucasian as well, because they're Caucasians. I went to college with an Iranian and asked him that, like, oh, which one are you on the bubble? Which bubble you fill out? And he said, my mom told me to put Caucasian because we actually, like, the Caucasus is right there. We are Caucasian. And I was like, okay. And this is actually just coming out now.
Right. You see? What did you have?
I'm still on Revelation 20 and 3.
20. And you had Revelation.
Daniel 4:17.
Get Daniel 4:17.
This is Daniel 4, verse 17. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and sets up over it the basis of men.
It sets up order at the basis of men. That's the precept to what you read earlier in Revelation, the 13th chapter. Matter of fact, Revelation, we said, give Revelation 13 and 2.
God.
And even start at 1, because it says that beast came out of the sea, out of all these people,
Right.
just as talked about earlier. But this is the lowest form of humanity that
Yep.
we're talking about. And the Lord was like, watch this.
Yep.
Let me take these cavemen, these Caucasians, and put them up at the very top. See what they're about. And they basically destroyed the earth, destroyed understanding. Everything's just destroyed. People don't know who they are.
This is him that destroyed the whole, that the scriptures say, I'm loosely paraphrasing. This is him that did all of this.
That
Go
guy.
ahead, Revelation 13.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
And go ahead.
And we went to the sea, which are the people's nations and tongues.
Right.
We saw this beast come out of all the people, out of the midst of the people. Yeah.
And we went into the 7 heads,
Yeah.
which is where we didn't really mention them. So,
Yeah.
which, whenever you mention the 7 heads, who do you always want to start with?
The Greeks.
The Greeks. So you go with the Greeks, Germania Major, Germania Minor, French, the Romes, and the Brits.
Yeah.
Oh shit! In the Spain.
Yeah,
That's it.
Spain. Because the conquistadors, can't forget about the conquistadors.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
This is the word beast on that scripture that you just read is therion, which is it's not an actual beast. It says it's a metaphor for a brutal or a bestial man, a savage or a ferocious man.
See, you're the savage. Calling my people savages, you are the savage. And I think that even goes into, it's basically the lack of understanding of the laws, statutes, and commandments. You're just beasts. You're brutish,
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
freaking savage people that are in charge. And so, of course, you've covered up the law, statutes, commandments. You've covered up the nations. You've covered up the judges thereof through your iconoclasm or your whitewash. Everything's covered up and destroyed because you are, let's get that word. Because you are a savage.
What you say, savage?
Yeah.
Hold on, let's get the script first, and then get that one. It should be either Jude, the 1st chapter, or 2 Peter's 2 and 12, where it says the natural brute beast. No, matter of fact, get Jude, because we don't get Jude that. Get Jude. It should be like 1 in 10 or something. Whoever has it.
I got a real quick one.
Hold on, let's get this real quick.
It's at 1 and 10. This is Jude chapter 1 verse 10. It says, but these speak evil of those things which they know not, but what they know naturally as brute beasts.
Right, but really, it's kind of going in on Jake.
Yeah.
But still, you can compare or apply it to what you're saying. These people who lack understanding.
Right.
The Edomites. That's why we see how his kingdom is ran. Everything you see around here is a lack of fucking understanding. what in your right mind thinks walking on concrete is a good idea? What in your right mind paving roads with asphalt is a good idea? What in your right mind to create vehicles that huff out
All types of chemicals.
all these chemicals and fumes? That's a lack of understanding. I don't care how intuitive the invention is or how whatever. It's a lack of understanding.
Apartments stacking on one
Stacking
another.
on one another.
Right. Like, I shouldn't be hearing old
People
dude
have
getting
sex.
down upstairs and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably, yeah. How is that? That's a lack of understanding.
Yeah.
Because you want to do, motherfucker. You want to do this, right? You want to stack people on top of people. You know how fucking big Georgia is.
Yeah.
Man.
Everyone can have their own house and their own land in Georgia comfortably right now, but you're stacking everything on top of everything.
That's
lack
true.
of understanding.
That's true.
That's lack of understanding.
That's because he heapeth unto him all people and all things, and
Right.
got him in these city centers.
Right. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. a lack of understanding. Why would you want your slaves at the poorest they can be when they're a slave to you?
Yeah.
You would want them in the best condition to serve you in the best way possible. Lack of understanding. You're the basis of men, bro. I'm gonna show you how it's done. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna show you shit. Your head is just gonna be down, breaking big rocks into little rocks, motherfucker. You're not gonna see how the kingdom's gonna be.
Right.
Esau ain't gonna know. He ain't gonna know what a cold glass of water is.
Shit.
That nigga gonna be drinking hot water.
Boiling 212 degrees, motherfucker. Okay, 212. That's the boiling point.
Yeah.
212 degrees, while it's 212 degrees outside.
He ain't gonna know what an ice cube
Right.
is inside his cup.
Hell nah. The only ice cube he gonna know about is the dumbass rapper he set up.
Dumbass.
Lack of understanding.
And you see his inventions. He'll invent something totally off, and then he has to invent something else or push something else to try to fix what made everything totally off. Concrete. You have to have these thick ass shoes to keep you your shit fine,
Right.
which also creates other problems.
Well, let's go into let's go into the founding of this motherfucker. The Constitution. That was an invention. You have invented these ideologies of the Bill of Rights, the First, Second, Third, Fourth Amendment. Why are they called amendments?
Change.
Because it changed.
Thank you. You're always fucking changing something because you realize something wasn't right. So you gotta add another one. Then you gotta add another one. Then you gotta add another one to fix that mistake. We don't have to amend the law of the Heavenly Father.
We're gonna be
Because
perfect.
It's perfect. You know?
Just because he brought up the amendments, a quick search on Google says that there have been 27 amendments to his perfect Constitution.
What did it say? Let's listen to this bullshit again. Go ahead.
It says there have been 27 amendments
To his what?
to the. Well, I put the word.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Whoa, you almost got me
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
Because I was about to go in on
Right,
Esau.
yes.
Like, you really said
Well-
perfect?
Well,
boy.
They do think that it's perfect because when you try to challenge their Second Amendment, right? He's like, no, I'll die on this hill. Like, no, there's been several changes made, and there might need to be made a change here, man. But it just goes into the double-minded of Esau, Edom, that they hold their own constitution high, but they don't abide by the laws, which there has never been a change to them.
Which is hypocritical.
Yeah.
You know? So let's keep going into those precepts. Where were we at?
Let me see something. Job 9.
Yeah,
Revelation 13, right?
Okay,
On the top. Okay. Revelation 13 and 1. And I stood upon the sea, and I stood upon the sand, I meant to say, of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth was as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat a great authority. And I saw one of his heads.
That was verse 2, right?
Yeah,
Read
verse
the-
2,
read
verse
the end
2.
of verse 2 again.
Okay,
Because
Con.
you can link that with Daniel. That's what I wanted to do. Link that with Daniel 4 and 17.
Okay, Con. Revelation 13 and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear.
We broke that down.
He went on, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat and great authority.
Yep. And he gave him his power and his seat and great authority. But at the end of the day, the Lord is the one who orchestrated all of this
Yep.
and put the faces of men in that seat to give him the power and authority to do what the fuck he's doing right now, man. You know?
Yeah.
I had a little bit more on the program.
No, let's get it. Yeah.
So, going back to the 10, 11-year-old notes, verbatim, I'm going to read again. So, I wrote down how Cromwell overthrew, pretty much, whatever. So continuing, it says Oliver was a Freemason. So King Charles I tried to arrest 5 members of the parliament for obstructive behavior, which was a catalyst of the English Masonic Civil War. Oliver Cromwell claimed that God was guiding his victories because he won every battle. So Oliver was the commander of the parliamentary forces which King Charles I tried to arrest. So when King Charles tried to make that move on Oliver, that's when
Guy Fawkes blew up Parliament.
come on now. It says the Civil War came to a halt after the beheading of King Charles I, which really, when you look into the history, when Oliver Cromwell did that, they said he took it too far.
Yeah.
Because he beheaded the king. Why?
Didn't he try to behead King James too? Oh no, that was Guy Fawkes, right?
Or it all came
to
Charles, his son.
Oh, he hired him, right?
Yeah.
It
Okay.
all came around.
It's like
Came around
So
later.
it says so the Civil War came to a halt after the beheading of King Charles. I said, how did I'm just rereading this again just now. It says, how did Cromwell do it? The Rosicrucians, if I'm saying that right.
Rosicrucians.
Yes, Rosicrucians, thank you, is the answer. It says, among them were powerful Kabbalistic Marano Jews. look
So
at
our own people.
Yes. So it says, who convinced Cromwell that without the spread of Jews worldwide, biblically millennium would not arrive. It says, so Cromwell allowed them to migrate to England. How did Cromwell win every battle? So the rest, how do you say that again? Rosicrucians?
Rosicrucians.
Gave Cromwell advanced knowledge of British troop movements. So pretty much they were like insiders who kind of ratted everything out. So it says, which were, where was I? British troop movements, King Charles I's forces, consequently, he won every battle. That's why I say intel is everything.
Yeah.
He got intel from the inside to see how King Charles moved in that Civil War. Therefore, the Cavaliers overthrew and took everything over, man. So,
Wow. And our own people helping to take us down. We're always doing that.
and then one more thing. It says the Navigation Act of 1651 made Cromwell to attract rich Jews from Amsterdam to London. And I said money brings power. So the Edomites systematically got their rise in power through policy and war and ultimately peace.
Can I?
That lines up with wisdom of Solomon too. Let our strength be the law of justice, right? Or I'm roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah, I see what you're going. I see what you're getting at, though.
And then I pulled up the name Cromwell while you're reading. And it says the surname Cromwell means winding stream, originates from Old English, derived from crump, which means bent or crooked. And how can that which is made crooked
Yep, he made
be made
straight.
straight?
Yeah.
These are
Man.
crooked people, and he dealt in crooked ways to establish his power. This is the wicked. This is the devil. That
He's a crump.
No wonder they call that damn dance move clumping.
ooh, yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a my fucking dance, man.
That shit look crooked.
Right.
Yeah, they be.
You might as well fucking do it.
All right.
Yeah, that's crump. They clumping, man. You know.
Can I add to his name?
Fucking crumpets.
His name means flowing water, right? It brings to mind Proverbs 21:1.
Winding stream.
Winding streams. Right? Okay, so let me get Proverbs 21:1 because you mentioned that he said that every battle won was showing him that God was with him, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is Proverbs 21:1. It says, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. As the rivers of water, he turns it whithersoever he will."
It's the same. Cromwell had the very low key scale, had the same spirit on him that Alexander the Great did.
Yeah.
Alexander knew he was chosen to do it before he was told.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you saw that picture of Alexander with the leopard. Where else would he have gotten that understanding from? Daniel's writings. He's like, I am this guy. I am this guy.
I am the
I forget
leopard.
who it was, but somebody literally broke it down for him. It was like, this is your part.
Yeah, it's our priest. Like the Levites.
Yeah, one of the priests did it. I can't remember exactly.
And when he conquered Israel, he didn't lay it on heavy on us because of obtaining that knowledge from the Israelites.
I want to say Socrates.
I think it's Aristotle.
Aristotle, maybe. Because one of them, because they were both during the Greek time. Socrates was during because you got to remember, First Maccabees starts at 320 BC. 320 BC, so Socrates and Aristotle are around that time. And they probably dissecting the scripts of the scroll that Daniel wrote. He's like, no, you are this guy. And shit ain't wrong.
Yeah. Supposedly he spoke Hebrew and everything too to even really understand that you are this wicked. That's gonna.
Yep. Cool. That's how you say it. You gotta go through little nitpick. People don't talk about Oliver Cromwell.
Right. Yeah.
People don't talk about the Masonic Civil War. And they don't talk about the Cavaliers. They just talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like I said, how ironic.
Yeah.
King James is playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers and gets quote unquote crucified like he does, in basketball terms. Because this is actually, they're reenacting and it's like a masquerade. At some masquerade parties, they'll have a mask, but they'll do a play.
Yeah.
And shit like that. And play out certain little things. And we watch it in the NBA. We watched it in the NBA, man. King James played for the fucking Cleveland Cavaliers. Then they got fucking crucified publicly on his altar by Cowards of South Beach. That was the Cavaliers ultimately, destroying King James. These Edomites, y'all ain't fucking slick with your little subliminal actions, man. We're privy to it. Like the officer said earlier, Zachariah, he said we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. The devices don't have to be a physical thing. We understand in Ephesians we battle against principalities and powers.
Yeah.
You see your subliminal actions and messages that you put out. We're privy to it.
Yeah.
We up on game, man.
Yeah.
And this is a great stage. The world's a big stage. Back in Shakespearean times, they had their stage. They'd have the people sitting in the crowd. They called that heaven. They had the stage as earth, and then the people sitting lower. They called that hell. And it's just the same. It's the same spirit. Just watching it here on the earth. We're watching these great acts play out. Yes, theater. And the Lord's setting up certain individuals and bringing down certain individuals, putting them in certain roles, and everybody's just got to play their role.
Right.
Yeah.
Going back to Revelation 13, now we're at verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And
we kind of went in there already. Go back to Revelation 20. Because they were loosed. Satan, because we were talking about the Ottoman Turks and all the that was that season where they were loosed and wreaked havoc.
I believe
Start at
3. Yeah. Revelation 20 and 3. And it reads, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him.
That was Europe. It's this time where you can go out deceiving during what they call the Dark Ages, because they weren't out there deceiving.
Right. And set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season.
And so they have the Dark Ages, which you look up the numbers, quick Google search, and it's just about around 1,000 years. Sometimes you'll see 1,100 years. Sometimes you'll see 900. Sometimes you'll see 1,000.
Allah, y'all was on side.
Well, it was 1,000 years, says the script, which the numbers aren't always exact.
Oh, no, just.
Oh, okay. Come on. Well, yeah, he was in this pit of Europe, shut up, big Caucasians, being these beasts, and then the Lord lifted them all the way up.
Continuing on, in verse 4, and I saw thorns, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads. For in their hands and they that live and reign with a Mashiach 1,000 years.
And this is going into our kingdom.
Yep.
After all the thrones are cast down, everything's cast down, and everything that the Edomites have done to us, all the violence committed to us, all the deception and everything, but showing our kingdom. We'll show from that.
They don't say nothing about Esau coming back in power, man.
Right.
Remember, they was teaching that. A certain group of people was teaching. This is talking about how Esau just going to mysteriously just come back in power. And I'm guessing we got to do all this shit over again.
Oh,
Yeah, the purple zombies.
well, it's not.
You ready?
Let's get something else, because that's...
Oh, yeah, that's.
Jeremiah 50.
This is Jeremiah, chapter 50. Start from what you said, 50 or 51?
Either one, because they're both doing
Yeah.
the fall of Babylon. That's what we're talking about. Because we're watching these wars get started up, watching Babylon fall.
I got 7 for you.
He's got this. 51.
This is Jeremiah 50, verse 51. It says, Thus saith the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind.
Yeah. Nuclear destroying wind. That is what's coming to this place. That's how it's going to go out. That's all the hellfire and the lake of fire and all this fire that you hear about in the scripts. This is nuclear war that is going to happen. The Lord's going to fan it, he's going to bring it forth, and it's going to destroy this place.
I had a quick precept.
Yeah, let's get it.
This is 2 Ezra 16, verse 13. It says, For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
Yeah, showing that those are missiles, not arrows. Everything was described in ancient old talk, because they didn't have missiles then. Or really, you could call arrow a missile, which is being shot into the ends of the earth. You can't shoot an arrow that far.
Oh, a stolen nuke is called a broken arrow.
Oh yeah. Arrows. We're going to keep calling them arrows, just like our forefathers did.
Right.
But these are, their heads do hurt. They got boobs on them. It's going to destroy Babylon. It's going to bring Babylon down.
Verse 2, And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
Yeah, so this fire is going to be stoked. It's going to be, when you breathe on fire, it gives it more life, and it grows and grows.
We just saw a prime example, the coals, right? The wind, today kept blowing. It actually caught fire.
Ooh,
Yeah.
dang, I missed it.
But just throwing it as an example to make it more lively.
Yeah.
More,
Yeah.
you said it best. Yeah.
Questions I'm getting to love that guy.
Verse 3,
Fellows. He's got those fellows.
Yeah.
See it in old time.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Look at this game.
Yeah.
All right. the blacksmiths.
Yeah. And he's created the smith, which is going to create the coals of the fire.
Yep.
Let's get that.
All right, I got you.
That's a nice segue.
Give me a second.
Isaiah 54? I believe
Oh yeah, it is.
Smith.
Isaiah,
54.
yeah, Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. Yeah, and I have created the waster to destroy.
So he's just talking about how he's gonna have fanners on this fire to fan it. Going into the same thing, because he's even created the smith. He's created the artisan, which is created, had this whole Manhattan Project, which created these atomic weapons at that time, which are formed into nuclear weapons. This is going to be the end of Babylon and the end of the time of the Gentiles and the end of your world. But we've got a new world coming, which is that of Jacob. Just have to get through the hard part, which is Jacob's trouble, which is the MO2B, and they're going to try to put that on everybody because they're basemen, and they really think they can do that, pull that off, and then Yahushua comes back. It's in the midst of this war that we've been talking about all day that is forming. Yahushua is going to return, and Lord will, he treats every one of us that are doing this work, as well as our families. And so, we're gonna, Lord will, that was edifying to everyone. We're gonna end this and give all glory, praise, and honor to
Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Kodash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. And shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.
I barely saw it. I have my eyes closed.